Welcome back to a School of Airway. Today is the sack of the Cantaloupes. I promise in this reenacted scenario case, no cantaloupes were harmed or eaten. Today was not my cheap fruit day, so I'll talk about a piece of fruit that almost killed someone. So basically, get a medical notification of the patient who's choking. 19, 21 years old, set 56%. Choking. So I'm trying to figure out in my setup. Better get one McGill's. I'm gonna have to intubate. I hope they're doing the Heimlich maneuver. And I hope the patient's responsive. And push comes to shove, if I can't get the tube from above, I have to cut through the neck. Right? And rehearse certain things like I'm gonna have to right mains the guy on purpose and pull back. Because I may not be getting all the foreign body that's already in the airway. These are the strategies I think of for when I think of choking. Patients coming in, and they're like open and fully awake. He must have only a partial obstruction because he's still maybe muffling his voice, talking, maybe gasping for air, but maybe he aspirate a little bit, but he's talking awake. Not. Gotta do what your doctors do. Alright? So patient comes in, pale, grayish, diaphoretic, and I don't even care what type of medical problem he has. Maybe allergies to make sure I don't kill him with RSI meds if he's been intubated before. And the story is the parents had been feeding the child, the son, grown male, past puberty. The patient did not chew the food, just like swallowed it whole and started to choke. One of the parents happened to be a paramedic, tried to Heimlich maneuver several times and nothing came up. Still gasping for air. Followed by paramedics who had a decision: scoop and run or play. Remember, we can say play in the ED, but patients don't like to hear it. Families don't like to hear it. Loved ones don't like to hear it. And basically intubate. Now in New York, there's this issue. You want to sedate and not paralyze. And if you fail, you better have your backups ready, right? So the paramedics decided to drive as fast as possible, come to emergency room. This person is lethargic, barely moving to sternal rub, barely. Line is already in by EMS, a little iffy, so another line gets put in, and plans to intubate if we have to. But I'm gonna visualize foreign body first. Right? So, patient's lethargic, barely moving, and we try to see if we can actually go in the mouth, and if you can't, and he's gasping and biting, you have to give him the meds as if you're almost intubated. Because guess what? You try to intubate and he has all his foreign body, he's just chronically aspirated. So it's a gamble, and he may be gagging, he may have already been aspirating, and this has been going on for 30 minutes already. The stats are not picking up well. 56% is the first gas that pulse ox we get. If I had enough hands, I'll get a gas right off the bat. What good things they did do is high flow oxygenation and nasal cannula. High flow, right? So they're providing at least some pre-oxygenation of some type, and hopefully something is managing to get around the airway. Right. So go in. Whole bunch of, was it Mountain Dew, honey, it was some type of melon, orange-like, cantaloupe-like. Pieces are coming up. Pieces. Even a large piece. I'm gonna tell you, regardless of how you get this, but I know some people are snobbish and try to go in like this. I'll tell you straight up, the foreign body doesn't care how you grab it or pull it out, and the patient doesn't either. So go in, pulling out, keeping the nasal cannula high flow, 15 liters, hissing. Greater 15 liters or higher, hissing in the room. And then you go in and you see, and once we take out all this foreign body as much as possible, 56 sat drops to 33. I think we'd already paralyzed the patient before, just to even have a chance because he was biting down and couldn't get to the foreign body. This is a race for cardiac arrest. If there's going to be PEA, asystole, we'll know the etiology was hypoxia. According to the family, the patient was well until he had this choking episode. No fevers, no vomiting, no GI bleed, no overdoses of medicines. Sats dropped down to 33, but a beautiful waveform. So I'm going to tell you, this is the longest 45 seconds to a minute in your life. If you have a beautiful waveform, while you're doing this, if it's working well, it was a two-man job. Of course, I'm going to show you what I would do. Modification, right? These valves on, come 1.5 hands, but there was enough hands. 2 people, 3 people assisting. All right. So the sats go down to 33, and then of course 41, 50 goes up to 94, and then some asked, let's go just intubate. The sats rose to 97. We did this for like 2 minutes to pre-oxygenate. I don't think intubation was any complications, and guess what? Just in case we failed, I already had this. And remember, the thought of even paralyzing the sats dropping to 33, you gotta be very careful, right? It's all about resource management and training. If you have one of these after the foreign body was removed, yes, this possibly would have worked. If there was resistance, it would have told you. With bagging, and sats still dropping, the foreign body was distal to the cords, and this would not have reached, right? So there's always a dilemma that you always have to figure out the answer beforehand. Predict the answer of success and failure beforehand. So I did what I teach my residents. Visualize chords, and guess what? This is one of the few times I actually asked to hub it all the way in, all the way to past the teeth. Once it goes past the teeth, then I pulled back to 22, 23. And you know why I did that? Because I knew that if there was a foreign body, at least it's in the corridor or in the recess of one of the lungs, and not all the lungs now. All right? It wasn't like above the main stem, where it breaks to the right and left. It wasn't above the carina, because I made sure it wasn't. I didn't slightly push it in to obstruct the whole right. I made sure it was the corner right, all the way in. So maybe the right lower lobe wouldn't even oxygenate, but guess what? The right middle and upper lobe, way better than none. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, in my head, sats were personally not going above 80 or 85. I just had to deal with the fact that they're probably cantaloupe obstruction distally. I have to live with that. I'm gonna tell you, sorry, some people living at stats of 80s, 85s all the time from pulmonary hypertension, chronic lung disease. Not great, better than 33 sat, better than 56 sat. He's trying to get less diaphoretic. And I'll show you the x-rays that we saw. Now, mind you, I had already predicted this patient likely already aspirated. This is the pictures that happened after the intubation. Right lung, left upper lung looks a little weird, not that great. Look at the whole right middle, lower lobe, and these lying supines are probably aspirating a little bit in the left upper lung. The only thing that's kind of spared is the right lower lung. That thing is not a pacemaker, it's a vagal stimulator device because the patient has recurrent refractory seizures, but luckily that was not an issue today. All right, and look what happens after suctioning, after the acute insult. Thankfully, he didn't progress to ARDS, and thankfully he got likely bronchoscopy and suctioning, aggressive suctioning, doing better. Still intubated. If you look carefully, there's an intubation ET tube there. But look, the lungs look better, so the patient should theoretically be better. Can't predict his sequelae of neurological status. Too early to tell. Hopefully, we did the best we could for this patient. So, practicing what we rehearse in the sim lab worked out. Please come back for another episode of School of Airway. Bye.